Hi, my friends and family, and welcome back to my show. I hope you are doing well and blessed, and I'm a little bit relieved that you can see the sun peeking out from behind the artificial layers of atmospheric river drizzle, the first day of it. So today, my talk is called Fake Jealous Gods Only Create Slaves and War. The prime creator is respectful. Stop. Understand me. I ain't afraid of losing face. Stop. Understand me. I ain't afraid of ever losing faith in the truth. Don't you think I want to? Don't you think I would? Don't you think I'd fully awaken your soul right now if I only could? So just let me help you as much as I can and throw away your pride. Can't you overstand? The fake-ass junior gods have got jealous. Jealous again. Can't you see? Look at Israel. It's a suicide head spin when your gods get jealous. Jealous again. Think it's time to put Lucifer in the pen and not us again. Fake jealous gods only create slaves and war. The prime creator is respectful. How about that? Why in the Old Testament of the Bible does it say our creator God, Yahweh, is jealous and demanded many blood sacrifices? Well, of course, that's uber related to why I was shadow banned for making a video about Yahweh's character. Our creator God, Yahweh, is jealous and demanded many blood sacrifices, including whole populations. If he gave us free will, why would he create plagues and floods to wipe us out? If he can never admit imperfection, he just destroys his mistakes by cataclysm or other means, over and over. And this, perhaps Humans 2.0 is the grandest or the greatest openly, pseudo-scientific Luciferic experiment. And, whatever happens in that, he'll just destroy it if he messes it up. And why do I say fake? Why do I say fake God? Well, because Lucifer created narcissistic personality disorder or narcissistic predator entities inherently because it's his style, coming from being a black hole being, turning away from Her Majesty the Divine Christ so long ago. He can't actually, and all of the Illuminati, all the people who really seriously, all the black magicians, all the people who really seriously play into this, all of the hundreds of thousands of black magicians in the New World Order, they can't really feel any connection to the real creator because they sold it out and they severed it. How compassionate, omnipotent, and forgiving is he? God is jealous because Frankenstein somehow still had a heart. I think Mary Shelley did a great job in that novel, of explaining, how Lucifer messed up. Somehow Frankenstein still had a heart. Look at how he rewards his devout followers in the Holy Land of Stargate number 1, Israel, or someone says it stands for Isis. Ra is the sun god, and El is Saturn or Elohim. When Enki or God or Lucifer had somehow, through intercourse or otherwise, intercourse, according to Wes Penner, or otherwise, acquired the divine DNA of the Christ Queen of Orion and mixed it, the Namalu'u Orion Christ DNA, with his own Syrian hostile warrior landlord controller genetics. He unplugged at least 11 strands of DNA to create Homo sapiens sapiens in his image, or no, in his AI deception image, parasitic narcissistic predator slave image, as a slave race to mine gold, supposedly, and invariably in the end to build towns into cities that were run by their clubs, secretly providing, lots of blood through war, through black magic rituals and child sacrifice, to all the way up to adrenochrome harvest and the disappearing of 2,000 children with the DEW energy weapon laser attacks in Lahaina in August of 2023, with help from the Draco reptilians, of course, who helped them to create the amazing deception for the time called the Council of Nicaea, the year 325, after nearly 10 years of delineation, deliberation, going over the Bible and changing it to be in the image of the inverted. After 10 years of reptilian interventions, infiltrations, reversals, and inversions, which led eventually to the conquistadores. For example, violent takeover of the west coast of USA, which they dubbed, after violent seizure, California, which someone told me means that the Kali, the spirit, Ma Kali, the destroyer god, angel that gives us what we need, and that's it. Is for Nia means the divine Christ child, so Kali is for the divine Christ child, to steal it and cut off the heads of everyone who contests her. They call it California, with the Khazarian mafia, of course, their landlord, fake estate friends, and their later the big boys club, with Hollywood. They created Hollywood, and then in the Silicon Valley, the .com revolution. People here, especially in the coast of California here, especially Mexicans or people from Mexico or Hispanic, will work very hard to be good slaves for their boxes. I mean, I've heard stories of families here in this county that would work, and their children would be going hungry in their house because they have to spend all the money they made on the rent because they don't want to leave their children in the street, and it's heavy. To be good slaves for their boxes in one of the Saturn Moon Matrix, in the scientism death cults, the inverted, well, they're mostly all raised Catholic, so it goes to show that, the indoctrination that the Catholicism can have. The inverted Catholic Luciferians' greatest examples of willful, voluntary slavery, to work 7 days a week for the box, 3 jobs. The subconscious pitchfork, that Lucifer has to their ass to blindly accept the rent. And this one guy told me he works in the grocery store. His rent goes up $100 every year, and property taxes around coastal California, to blindly accept the madness of the mafia, government, conquistadores, taxes and rents, gouge pageant, I call it. Get back to work. That's why most of them can never have time to watch my content here. Enjoy cold water paradise here in Santa Cruz, but only as a wage slave or a tyrant controller of the slaves, like a landlord or a boss. Otherwise, watch the big red target on your forehead grow, or accept being a disabled or marginalized and stuck in fucking mere existence person, If you're not wealthy, specialized, or a slave, you're going to be pushed to the side. Get out of the way so we can slave and make others our slaves. Because we're not going to, until the California CARES Act or Agenda 2030 gets rid of you, we're going to pretend like you don't exist anyways, of course. Everybody's doing it. being a slave here in California. The gross Cali Sisyphus inflation dance. Notice how different you feel when you're off work or working in timelessness, say as a healer or a musician or a farmer, only with the seasonal cycles within nature. Compare this to the incessant stress in cities. How the energy and the vibe sucks. Notice the difference in energy between Jerusalem and an Amish town. Notice Israel and an Amish town. Notice the vast difference between a white, gray, sprayed, cold, nanotech, encrusted, space fence, geoengineered day and a beautiful sunny day with a dark blue sky and lots of rich sunshine. How massively different these two feel to your etheric body, to your energy or your emotional body and all your chakras, to your, not just your mind, your heart, your crotch, your belly, all your chakras and your bodies, how different that makes you feel in your flesh suit as an embodied awakened soul, how different it is energetically. The difference between a disciplined master artisan or craftsman who loves their work and a slave to their box who can only obey the soulless whip-holding master archon, the demiurge, and work at the fast food restaurant and not question it. Within these vast discrepancies, you can ascertain the original qualities of pure divine human life and know which is which. Of course, in the infiltration of the false gods, it had to be, God is jealous of you because he miscalculated in his experiment. Lucifer or Enki, he left too many openings, possibilities in your minds. Now, where did you folks think emotional vampirism and, say, consumptive modeling and the mainstreaming of Satanism, solipsism, and narcissistic personality came from anyway? I wonder where it could have came from. So, you having too many openings in your mind, this is why the final experiment, Humans 2.0, had to happen in 2020. Through this internet gadget, folks were, especially through the internet, folks were realizing the Matrix is a documentary, and God siphons and drains our emotions. It's called Lush, and feeds off the negative energy as much as possible because he can no longer feel himself. Lucifer can no longer feel perhaps anything. They can only feel if you act like the devil. God and the Hellites, I call them, the 1% criminal robber barons, have literally severed and burned off their connection to the original Christ goddess mother. They can't feel love. They can't feel her pure love. Their devotion to pulling us all into the black hole is profound, and their organization skills are profound, but they cannot feel love. They're permanently stuck and lost, severed from her love, unless they could somehow change and flip 180 degrees. They are a black hole collective. They can only feel sucky. That is why they want you to feel sucky, so the Luciferians can invert, siphon, or otherwise coerce you to stress and eat your loose when they suck you down to their level. Masters also of disguise and reversal to first appear pure and good and just within overt blood-drinking vampirism somehow, and later to make their depravities acceptable, the mainstream media, to spread their vampirism everywhere, they had to seem nice. They had to seem like they were good somehow. And they achieved that, tragically. Tragically, Hollywood did a great job of this. Yet, the thing is, since the so-called Jesus era, the Gnostics, unlike Yahweh or Lucifer, admitted God or Prime Creator Sophia, the original Christ, made a grave error. It was that, as I've said, She is all allowing and all loving. She allowed error. Lucifer's experiment was all pro-control and anti-life.